press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
In the last class, we are learning about our government, isn't it? We already explained some points. Especially, we are learning about the central government. I already told the central government exercises its power through three wings. Those are Union Legislature, Union Executive and Union Judiciary. I already explained the important two houses of the legislature, isn't it? One is Lok Sabha and another one is Rajya Sabha. Here Rajya Sabha is the upper house and also Lok Sabha is the lower house. So, and also the Union Executive consists President, the Chief Minister, the Prime Minister and his cabinet. So, we are learning about the President, isn't it? How the President were elected. What is the term of office, isn't it? The President is elected. He was also elected. He was elected by the one of the institution called that is he was elected by the members of the Lok Sabha and elected members of the Rajya Sabha and the state legislative assemblies, isn't it? The term of office of the president is, I already told, that is 5 years. For the 5 years he was elected. So he was the head. He was head of the entire country. He was the first citizen of India. We already learnt about that. Next we learn about forming the government. Forming the government. What type of government we have? Shall learn about that. Okay. Forming the government. Forming the government. India is a democratic country. India is one of the democratic country. What do you mean by democratic? Democracy. What do you mean by democracy? Democracy means by the people, for the people, of the people. Such type of government is called as democratic country. That is called as democracy. Democracy means by the people, for the people, of the people. Such type of government is known as democracy. Democratic country or the democracy. Okay. Here in democracy, securing the happiness of the everyone. Securing the happiness of the everyone is the responsibility of the government. Securing the happiness of the everyone is the responsibility of the government in a democracy. In democracy, the problems are solved. In democracy, in democratic system, the problems are solved through the discussions. So, and elections are held. In the democratic countries, the elections are held every 5 years. Every 5 years, the elections were held through the universal adult franchise. Such type of government is known as democracy. India is also one of the democratic country. India has a democracy. Okay. So this democracy means, I already told, by the people, for the people, of the people. Okay. So in our country there are many political parties. In India we can observe. In India we can observe many political parties are working here. Okay. So those parties, those different parties put up their candidates for the election. For the 5 years. The elections were held for the 5 years. Okay. Each party, I already told, here the varieties parties there. The many parties were there in India. Okay. So these different parties put up their candidates for the election here. Okay. On that election, that election, which party gets more than half of the total number of the members in the parliament is declared the majority party or the winner party. Under this situation, India has the different parties. They all parties. Different parties put up their candidate for the elections. They put up their members in the elections. Okay. So, which party gets more than half of the, which party gets more than half of the total number of the members in parliament? Which party gets more than half of the total number of the members in the parliament is declared as the winner party, and also it is called as the majority party. For example, there is a in the parliament there is 100 seats. Imagine there is 100 seats, 100 members. Okay. So in the election, which party gets half means 50 or more than 50. Which party gets or win 50%, or which party gets 50 or more than 50 seats? So that party was declared as the winner party, and that is also called as the majority party. Okay, this party leader, the leader of this party become the prime ministers. Okay, if the any party did not get more than half of the members, if any party did not get more than half of the total number of the members in the parliament, what is the situation? What they did? How they formed the government on that time? So on that situation, under the situation, if any one party it gets more than half of the number of the members in the parliament, it was declared as the majority party or the winner party. If any party did not get more than half of the numbers of the members in the parliament, on that time what they did? How they formed the government? On that situation, many parties combines together, allied themselves, and they formed their own government. Such type of government is known as Colossian Government. Such type of government is called as Colossian Government. What do you mean by Colossian Government? Such type of government is called as Colossian Government. Colossian. What do you mean by Colossian Government? What do you mean by Colossian Government? Colossian Government means a government formed by many political parties. A government formed by many political parties. Many political parties. Such type of government is called as Colossian Government. Under the situation, if any party did not get more than half of the numbers of the members in parliament election, so then some parties they allied themselves, they joined together, so they formed the government on that time. Okay, such type of government is called as or is known as Colossian Government. Means a government formed by many political parties. Many, there is no one, more than one. Such type of government is called as Colossian Government. Okay, so the president the president invites the leader of the majority party to form the government in the center. So he was also appointed as the Prime Minister of India. Okay, understand the situation after the election, after the parliament election. Who invites the leader of the party, majority party? The president. The president invites the majority party to form the government in India. Okay, he formed the government at the center. Okay, he appoints the president. The president appoints the leader of the majority party as the prime minister. How the prime minister was appointed by the president? The president invites prime minister. The president of India invites the majority party to form the government at the center level. Okay, and also he means the president. The president appoints the leader of the majority party as the prime minister. In this way, the prime minister was appointed, but prime minister is appointed by the president. Okay. So later, after the appointment of the prime minister, the prime minister forms his own cabinet. He appoints his own cabinet members. Okay. So that cabinet members consists the council of ministers. The prime minister forms the union cabinet. After when president appoints the prime minister, after prime minister was appointed, later he forms the union cabinet. That cabinet consists of the council of ministers. That cabinet consists the ministers of the councils. Okay. In this way, the cabinet and the prime ministers were appointed by the president. Okay. Next, the president in the union cabinet can be formed. The ministers in the union cabinet. The ministers in the union cabinet, they may be either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. After the prime minister was appointed, he means the prime minister. The prime minister can form. He appoints the ministers. He suggests the name of the ministers. Those ministers, they may become the member of the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. Okay, those members. The member's name was suggested by the prime minister. Later, those were appointed as the minister by the president. In this way, the prime minister and his cabinet members are appointed by the president. Okay, in this way they form the central government. This is the situation. Okay, next we learn about the state government. I already told there is two level of government, isn't it? One is the central government. The second one is state government. Let us learn about the state government. State government. How many state government are there? How many state government are there in India? How many state governments are there? There are 28. I already told India has 28 states. Means the India has 28 state government. Okay, we can observe the 28 state government in India. Okay, a state government has the authority to look after the matter of the state. The state government have the authority to look after the matters of the state. They can pass the rules and regulations within the state, which followed by that state. They can form rules, regulations within the state. Okay, here the 28 state government are there in India. Okay, so which matters come under the control of the state? Which matters come under the control of the state? Especially the health, education, the important matters which come under the control of the states are health, education, agriculture, law and order, etc. These are some of the important matters. Come under the control of the state government. The state government can pass the rules, regulation, laws on these matters. Okay. So, let us learn how the state government forms in India. So, here the state government is also formed the same way as the central government forms. Under this situation, we already know how the central government forms. In the same way, how the central government forms, in the same way the state government was also forms in India. So, let us learn how the state government exercise his power. Let us learn about that. The state government exercises its power through three wings, the same center. The state government exercises its power. The state government exercises its power through three wings. The state government exercises its power through three wings. Those were legislature, state legislature, and state executive, state legislature, state executive, and state judiciary system. Judiciary. Understood? The state government exercises its power through three wings. Those were state legislature, state executive, state judiciary system. In the same way, how the central exercises its power through three wings, in the same way the state government also exercises its power through three wings. Those were state legislature, state executive, state judiciary system. Okay, in state legislature there are two houses. These were, one is legislative council. Legislative council. There are two houses. In state legislature. Those are, one is legislative council. This legislative council is also known as Vidhana Parishad. Vidhana Parishad. This is the upper house. The another one is lower house. Lower house is called as Legislative Assembly. Legislative Assembly. Legislative Assembly is the lower house in the state. Okay, this Legislative Assembly is also known as Vidhana Sabha. Vidhana Sabha. Vidhana Sabha means Legislative Assembly. This is the lower house but very powerful house. Okay, next the state executive. The state executive consists governor. The state executive consists the governor of the state, chief minister, next chief minister and councils of ministers. Councils of ministers is cabinet. Councils of ministers are the cabinet ministers. Okay, next the judicial system is the high court. The high court is the one of the highest court in the state. High court. High courts are working. This is the highest court in the state. In this way, the state government exercises its power through three wings. Those are the state legislative, state executive, state judiciary system. So, in state legislature, there are two houses. These are legislative council and legislative assembly. Okay, legislative council is also called as Vidhana Parishad. So, only some states have the Vidhana Parishad or the legislative councils. Okay, only six states have the legislative councils. The others did not have the Vidhana Parishad or the legislative council. They have only the legislative assembly. Okay, here the legislative council is the upper house. Legislative assembly is the lower and powerful house. Okay, all the states have the legislative assembly, but only some states have the legislative council. Okay, so this legislative assembly is also known as Vidhana Sabha. Okay, Vidhana Sabha means legislative assembly. This is the lower house. Every state have the legislative assemblies, but only some states have the legislative council in India. Okay, next the state executive. State executive consists the governor. He was the head of the state. He was the first citizen of that state. Okay, the state executive consists the governor, chief minister and councils of ministers. Okay, next the state judiciary system means the high court. The high court is one of the highest court in the state. Okay, in this way the state government exercises its power through these three wings. Let us belong one by one. Okay, here the legislative assembly was the very powerful house. The members of legislative assembly are elected. They are elected by the people for the period of 5 years. The legislative assembly. The members of legislative assembly were directly elected by the people for the period of 5 years. Means the term of office of the legislative assembly is 5 years, only 5 years. When they elected, the 5 years they works. Later again the elections were held. Okay, in this way the legislative assembly are elected by the people for the period of the 5 years. Okay, the elected members were called as MLAs, the elected members of the Legislative Assembly. The members of the Legislative Assembly. The members of the Legislative Assembly were called as the MLAs. MLA. MLA means MLAs. MLAs means member of Legislative Assembly. Members of Legislative Assembly. You can heard this word MLA, isn't it? MLA means the member of Legislative Assembly. So, in this way, these legislative members of Legislative Assembly, they were elects by the people directly. Okay. Next, the governor. The state executive consists the governor. Governor is the first citizen of that state. He was the head of the state. Okay. He was appointed by the president. Who appoints the governor? The President of India. The President of India appoints the governor of the state. Okay. So, this governor, the governor invites, how the president invites the majority party of the state, in the central. In the same way, the governor after the election of the Legislative Assembly, after the election of the Legislative Assembly, the governor invites the leader of the majority party, to form the government, to form the state government. Understood the situation? After the election of the Vidhana Sabha or Legislative Assembly, after the election of the Vidhana Sabha or the Legislative Assembly, the governor invites the majority leader of the majority party. He invites to form the government in that state. Okay. And also he appoints the leader of the majority party. The leader of the majority party was appointed as a chief minister by the governor. Here the prime minister was appointed by the governor. Who have the authority to appoint the chief minister in the state? Especially the governor. The governor have the authority. The governor appoints the majority party leader as the chief minister of that state. Okay. After the appointments of the chief minister, the other minister, the chief minister tells the name of the other ministers. Okay. So, on the opinion of the chief minister, the other ministers were also appointed by the governors. In this way, the chief minister together with other minister forms the council of ministers. Understood the situation? The chief minister together with the other ministers, they form the council of ministers. They form the council of ministers. So these ministers are responsible. They are the responsible for the managing the affairs of the state. They have the authority. They have the full authority to look after the matters of that state. These ministers and the chief ministers. In this way, the chief minister and other ministers were appointed by the governor. They are the elected members. The people directly elects these members. So, the majority party leader, the leader of the majority party become the chief minister of that state. In this way, the state government was formed here. Okay. Next, let us learn about the judiciary system. So, we learn about the judicial system at the center and the state. So, we have the step by step judiciary system. We have the step by step judiciary system. We can observe the step by step judiciary system in India, which is the highest court in India, which is the highest judicial body or the highest court in India. Especially, yes, the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is the highest judicial body in India. We have the independent judicial system. India has the independent judicial system. India has the independent. This is very, very important. India has the independent judicial system. Okay, we have the independent. So this judicial system is not depend upon the others. It is independent. We have the independent judicial system. Why we have the independent judicial system? Why? To give the justice to the people. There is no discrimination among the peoples and the peoples. Okay, we should give the good justice to the peoples. For that purpose, we have, means the India have the independent judicial system. Okay, we have an independent judicial system in India. The Supreme Court is the highest judicial body. The Supreme Court. Where is it? The Supreme Court is the highest judicial body, the highest court in India. Where is it? It is in Delhi. Yes, it is in Delhi, New Delhi. It is in New Delhi. Okay, this Supreme Court is the highest judicial body in India. Its decisions are final. The decisions of Supreme Court, the judiciary of Supreme Court is final. There is no other court to question the Supreme Court. Okay, in India, especially in India, the decisions of the Supreme Court is final. There is no court to question the Supreme Court. Okay, so I already told the step by step judicial system we have. Okay, the Chief Justice in this Supreme Court, there are many justices were there. Among them, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is appointed by the President. The Chief Justice. The Supreme Court consists many justices. Among them, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Chief Justice of Supreme Court is appointed by the President. Is appointed by the President. Means the President have the authority to appoint the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court on the advice of the Prime Minister. Okay, on the advice of the Prime Ministers. On the advice of the Prime Minister, the President have the authority to appoint the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Okay, at the center level, the highest court is the Supreme Court. At the state level, which is the highest court in the state? Yes, High Court. High Court is the High Court is the highest court. highest level court in state. High Court is the highest level court in the state. Okay. Any decisions of the High Court, any decisions of the High Court can be reviewed by the Supreme Court. When we did not get the justice, when we did not get the justice in the High Court, we can go to the Supreme Court. It is in Delhi. We can go to the Supreme Court. When the people go to the Supreme Court, on that time the Supreme Court reviewed the High Court judgment. Okay, they reviewed, later they gave their own judgment there. Okay, in this way the Supreme Court have the authority to review the decisions of the High Court. When the people did not get the justice, when the people did not get the justice in the High Court, they can go to the Supreme Court. When they go to the Supreme Court, on that time the Supreme Court have the authority to review. Once again it review that matters. Later the Supreme Court gave its own decisions. That is final. There is no other courts than the higher of the Supreme Court. Okay, the decisions of the Supreme Court is final. So in this way the Supreme Court is there, means the Supreme Court is at the center level. The High Courts are working at the state level. What about the district level? What about the taluks level? Is there any courts? Yes. The district level, the district courts are working at the district level. District level, the district courts are working. What about the taluk level? The taluk level also there are some courts. Those are called as taluk courts. Taluk courts are giving the justice at the taluk level. The district level, the district courts are working. They are giving the justice to the people. When the people did not get the justice in these courts, they can go to the High Court. Okay, even though they did not get the justice in the High Court, they can go to the Supreme Court. In this way, step by step, we have the judiciary system. Here we have the independent judicial system. We can observe the independent judicial system in India. Okay, further give good justice to the people, such type of system we already adopted. So through these courts we are getting the justice. Okay, this lesson is ended. Once again I will repeat some points. Okay, I already told India is one of the vast country, isn't it? So for the smooth administration, India was divided into how many states? India is divided into 28 states, isn't it? Not only it is divided into 28 states, it is also divided into 9 union territories. India has 28 states and also 9 union territories, including the capital of India, that is Delhi. Delhi is the capital of India. Including this capital, there are 28 states and 9 union territories. Okay, so where is all these together, all these 28 states, 9 union territories, all these together called as the Indian Union. All these together called Indian Union. Yes, India is one of the big country, vast country, isn't it? So for the smooth administration, for giving the good administration to the people, there are two levels two levels government are working, operates. The two level governments are working here. Those are one is central government and another one is state government, isn't it? I already told the central government is the have the more power. Central government is more powerful than the state government. Okay. So the powers of the central government already written in our constitution. The powers of the whole country, was already written in our constitution. There are three lists. The whole power of the India was divided into three lists. Those are, one is central list, state list, and another one is concurrent list. The which matters come under the central list. The central government have the power to form the rules and regulations on the basis of those matters. The which matters come under the control of the which matters were in the state list. The state government have the authority to pass the rules and regulations on that matters. Concurrent list. The third one is concurrent list. Concurrent list means both state and the central government. The central government and the state government have the authority to make rules and regulation, the matters which come under the concurrent list. Okay. In this way, the power of India was divided into three lists. So among them, here the state, when we compare to state and the central government is more powerful. The important matters come under the central government. Okay. For example, I already give the defending the country is the responsibility. The protecting the country is the responsibility of the central government. Okay. The central government looking after the law and order within the state is the authority of the state government. Okay. So, many types. Central government helps the state governments. Central government helps the state governments when the state government wants the help from the central government. Okay. They have the good relationship. The central and when the central and the state government have the good relationship, then only they can easily control the whole India, and also they can develop the country. Okay. So in the central government, the central government is also called as the union government. The central government executes or exercises its powers through the three wings. I already told, that is, those are union legislature, union executive, and union judiciary system. Union legislature is also known as the parliament. That parliament have the two houses. Those are, one is Lok Sabha and another one is Rajya Sabha. Okay. The Lok Sabha is the lower house and also powerful house. The Rajya Sabha is the permanent house and also it is a upper house, isn't it? The executive, union executive consists the president, the prime minister and his council of ministers. The judiciary system is, I already explained, the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is the highest court in India, isn't it? In this way, the Supreme Court and the High Court and other level courts, they are giving the justice to the Indians. So this is the pictures. This is the main pictures of our government. This lesson is ended. We shall stop here. Okay. Thank you.